And here we have a big ass bug. It is the boss of the tears and everything similar to it. All you gotta do is let it come near you and then you just bite it. It's actually really easy, but it can hurt you. And yeah, I'm not objecting to the way they set it up. It works fine with what they did, but yeah. Give them props for credit, or, you know, trying, whatever. Alright, you know, so that was rude. And that is where I draw the line. Of course, this is where I question Link, because, I mean, I know he's a dogger, so he doesn't know any better, but I would not want to bite into that. I would not want to put my mouth onto that, but I know that's all he has to go for. Mainly because you can see the shit oozing and stuff when he does it. That's a gross. He's charging at me, dodge! Super slow-mo, so like, look at that, you just see the juices. Bugs are gross. Anyway. And there you go. For that big bug, we only get rewarded with 1 tear. Sucks, right? Oh well, you'll move on with life. Because we got it done, which is the last one, which makes me super, super happy. We never have to do tears again, I'm fairly certain. Yeah. Yes, it is filled, so you can leave me alone forever now. You make sure to get that last few shadow now. My name is Leneru. Your efforts have at least restored each of us light spirits in Hyrule. O hero chosen by the gods. The dark power that you seek. It waits in a temple at the bed of Lake Hylia. But before seeking it, you must now witness to something and never forget it. You must know that it was the will of the goddess that we lock away the forbidden power. When all was chaos, the goddess descended and gave order and life to the world. They granted power of equality to all who dwelled in the light and then returned to the heavens. The lands where the goddess descended came to be known as the Sacred Realm. For ages, the people lived at ease, content in mind and body. But soon the Sacred Realm spread through Hyrule and a great battle ensued. Among the living in the light, interlopers who excelled at magic appeared. Wielding the power of sorcery, they tried to establish domain over the Sacred Realm. It was then that the goddesses ordered us 3 light spirits to intervene. We sealed away the great magic those individuals had mastered. You know this magic. It is the dark power that you seek, the few shadows. O hero chosen by the goddess, beware. Those who do not know the danger of wielding power will before long be ruled by it. Never forget that. The dark power that you seek is within the sleeping of the Lakebed Temple in Lake Hylia. Now, I've seen that cutscene a few times, but I never actually understood it up until now, which is almost sad. Before I explain things, though, I want to at least go ahead and note that this spot right here is actually very, very prone to having a bunch of rupees spawn. So if you ever want to like grind for rupees, like individual rupees itself, here's a pretty decent spot where you can have a pretty high spawning rate of it. Like you can at least get maybe 15, 20 just by cutting around the grass over here. There's like 2 sections of grass, so if Link would get up and grab the thing, there you go. So yeah, there's that. Now, the thing that helps tie this in with the whole theory of the few shadows is that he said that the people mastered magic and sorcery. Now, from Majora's Mask, the people had ruled dark magic and sorcery as well. And what makes it even better was that he named them the Interlopers. In Majora's Mask, they were a tribe unnamed, so there's nothing to prove that it wasn't them. He also said that they were sealed away. So was that tribe. They were lost from contact, lost from humanity. They just vanished. The Happy Mask salesman himself said he went to great lengths to get that mask. So it took him one hell of a trip to even find the thing. So obviously it wasn't very easy to come by. So they excelled in the dark magic and sorcery, which, not only that, is infused inside the... It's inside the few shadows, but also Majora's Mask was used by the tribe for dark magic and rituals and stuff like that. So Majora's Mask and the few shadow share not only the ideal characteristics and just visual appearances being the eye, but also share connections in terms of the dark magic that they were used for. So that is another very, very plausible conclusion as to how those two are the same. I really like this theory, and I find it very interesting on how they connect things like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip all this dialogue, but he's a guy who will help you leave the lake, so all you gotta do is just talk to him and he'll go ahead and shoot you for about 10 rupees. It'll help you leave the place. It's the only way you can leave. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and do a little mini game real quick too. But yes, that's the connection with the Interlopers in Majora's Mask, the ruling of the sorcery and everything. So, in case you weren't already aware, that is just a theory, it is not fact. Because Nintendo likes to be sneaky and not actually clarify what is and what isn't part of Zelda history, so it's left up to the fans to decide. And honestly, I like it. It really amazes me what people can come up with. Whoa, that reminds me of something. Didn't the late queen in Zora's domain ask you to do something? She asked us to find her son, the one who's been missing since he headed to Hyrule Castle. I think she said something about granting you some special power if you rescued him? Final piece of the fused shadows at the bottom of Lake Hylia. It looks like we're going to need that ability. Also, no, never mind, that relates to something else. There's also another connection, apparently, between the interlopers and another tribe of people, which we will discuss soon enough. It is said that if you look at the back of Minda's hat, you can see a certain symbol. But I'm going to go ahead and wait until probably the end of the game to start discussing that, because it's also seen in a certain room. And it is a tribe you're very familiar with that's also excelled in magic and sorcery and stuff like that. So it just gets more and more interesting with all these theories. Plus, there is for a fact proof that a certain character of that tribe was supposed to be included inside of this game, but he was removed because they couldn't find a purpose for him. So, oh no! Like, you screamed. We gotta redo it. You don't have to land on the spinning platform, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to. So now that I failed, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut away until I get it. But not only that, but looking at the whole cutscene though that was occurring, that little hill that it showed, I don't know about you guys, and I doubt it's a connection, but it kind of reminded me of the moon from Majora's Mask. I was just a blank hill like that. The only difference was there was no tree. I mean, that's probably just me, but I don't know. That's what it made me think of. Anyway, I'll see you in a second. No! So close. There we go, finally. I was beginning to get worried because, in case you haven't realized, it's costing me a lot of money to do this. But in the end, you're going to get at least 100 for that, and the prizes get better as you slowly descend. So I'm going to try and be careful. Oh, I'm scared. There you go. And then drop. There you go. The rest of the Majora's Mask theory stuff, unfortunately, I just realized is probably going to have to wait until the end of the game, because that's when there's more of the connection, so I don't want to avoid spoiling anything. But yeah, there's more connections held to it. However, there's one thing that I have learned that I actually didn't know regarding Majora's Mask before, and I don't even know why I didn't think of it. Because you remember how Majora is supposed to be a girl and all that, because the whole ovaries and breasts and everything like that. And it's girlish screeching. But, one thing I actually didn't even bother thinking about was the fact that Majora was actually, you know, a person who conjured their spirit and soul and all that into the mask as a way to curse and get back at, you know, people and stuff like that. So, I don't remember exactly what it said, what the words were, but I do know that Majora is supposed to be an actual person who bothered cursing the mask and putting their soul and spirit into it as an entity. So that was cool. There was also another something involving a Skull Kid that tied into this somehow. Well, at least we got our money back, a little bit more than what we had originally, but yeah, we got all that taken care of. That took a little bit longer than I would have hoped, but I'm not too bothered by it. Because now we can just go ahead and deal with other things, which is actually, no, not the only heart piece. We should be able to get another heart piece, thanks to the hefty amount of bug collecting we've been doing. So, if we could, thank you. I don't know, I'm trying to think. I'll probably, like, re-look it up, because I'm fairly certain I don't really have to worry about explaining anything regarding Skull Kid just yet. But, yeah, this game has a lot of tie-ins with Ocarina of Time and Majora, and it's really cool. There's even actually a few tie-ins with the whole Wind Waker. Example being the fact that the lake here is in the eastern corner rather than the west. That was apparently believed that, you know, this game was supposed to be taking place after Wind Waker, according to some people. They're like, oh yeah, the goddesses drowned it, but then decided to raise it back up, and when they raised it up, they arranged it this way. And I don't know, I don't like the way that is. That's just bleh. Opponent, chill your shit.